What would you do if your own daughter betrayed you for money? If the family you raised with love and sacrifice plotted to take everything from you? This is not just a story of betrayal. It's a story of revenge and how justice found its way back, in a way no one expected. The October sun spilled into the suburban Chicago kitchen of Richard Hayes, a retired engineer in his mid-60s. His mornings were always the same. Coffee steaming beside the newspaper. The calm before another ordinary day. But today wasn't ordinary. "Dad, I have a surprise for you." His daughter, Sophia, appeared at the doorway, her husband Daniel lurking behind her with arms folded. Sophia's voice carried a false sweetness. In her hands, an envelope trembled. Richard put aside his toast and coffee, suspicious. "What kind of surprise?" Sophia forced a smile. "Just open it." The envelope ripped easily, spilling out a storm of documents, credit card bills, loan agreements, casino markers, all in Richard's name, all totaling $400,000. "What the hell is this?" Richard demanded, his voice sharp. "That's your debt, Dad," Sophia replied coldly, "and it must be paid by Monday." Richard stared at the papers, his heart pounding. "I've never gambled a day in my life." Daniel stepped forward, smirking. "The signatures look pretty authentic to me. Maybe your memory isn't what it used to be." Richard's eyes scanned the pages. The handwriting looked exactly like his. Every loop, every stroke. But he knew these weren't his. Someone had forged them. Sophia's fake tears rolled down her cheeks. "We don't want to lose the house, Dad. Please, just take responsibility." Richard's hands shook, not from guilt, but from rage. Family doesn't forge signatures. Family doesn't trap their own blood. When Richard refused, Sophia snapped. In a sudden burst of anger, she grabbed the coffee pot from the counter and hurled it at him. Scalding liquid splashed across Richard's chest, burning his skin. He stumbled back, gasping. Daniel didn't flinch. In fact, he looked satisfied. "Get out, old man. This house is ours now. Pack your things and leave." Richard stood tall despite the pain. "This is my house, paid for with my blood and sweat. You two think you can steal it? You've got no idea who you're messing with." Richard retreated to his room, pulling off the burned shirt and replacing it with a fresh one. He packed a small suitcase, clothes, cash, and most importantly, the deed to the house. As he slipped out the back door, he realized the truth. His daughter and son-in-law had planned this for months. They forged the documents, planted them in his files, and waited for the right moment. But they underestimated him. Richard crossed into the yard of his neighbor, Mr. Thomas Miller, a retired history teacher. Thomas welcomed him inside with concern. "What happened to you?" Thomas asked. Richard explained everything. The fake debts, the betrayal, the coffee attack. Thomas leaned back, shaking his head. "Sounds like fraud and assault to me. You need to call the police." Richard nodded, his anger hardening into resolve. "Not yet. If I call too early, they'll twist the story. I need proof, and when I strike back, it has to end them completely." Over the next 24 hours, Richard worked quietly with Thomas. They checked cameras on the street, gathered fingerprints from the forged documents, and even caught Daniel bragging to a neighbor about how easy it was to trick the old man. Every hour brought more proof. Every hour, Richard's plan grew darker. The next evening, Richard returned to his own house, not as a victim, but as a man ready for war. Sophia and Daniel were sitting at the dining table, already dividing his belongings. "You're back," Daniel sneered. "I told you to leave." Richard placed a folder on the table. "I never left, and now you're finished." He opened the folder, revealing photographs, audio recordings, and legal evidence. Forgery, fraud, assault. You'll spend the rest of your lives behind bars. Sophia's face drained of color. Dad, please, we can fix this. No, Richard cut her off. You tried to destroy me for money. You forgot who raised you. You forgot what family means. Right on cue, the sound of sirens filled the night. Red and blue lights flashed through the windows. The police stormed in, and Thomas followed behind them as a witness. Daniel tried to argue, but the evidence was undeniable. Handcuffs clicked around his wrists. Sophia broke down in tears as officers led her away. Richard stood silently, his burned chest aching, but his heart stronger than ever. As the house grew quiet again, Thomas put a hand on Richard's shoulder. You did the right thing. Betrayal cuts deep, but justice always finds its way. Richard looked out the window, his voice calm but firm. Blood may make you family, but loyalty makes you loved ones. Betrayal can come from your own home, but so can strength. Never let greed destroy what love built. The camera fades as Richard walks into his living room. The house once again his, earned not just through money, but through resilience. If you value family, value honesty and loyalty above all, because money can be earned again, but trust, once broken, is gone forever.